So, America tells itself a comforting lie that every vote counts and democracy is sacred. But if that were true, why do they spend so much time making sure certain people can't vote? From voter suppression to gerrymandering to the Electoral College, the US political system, well, it wasn't built for one person, one vote. It was designed to keep power in the hands of the few. So, welcome to episode 2 of the Myth of American Democracy. Today, we're exposing how the system rigs elections, suppresses voters, and keeps real democracy out of reach. So, let's get into it. So, voter suppression, it's always been the game. See, voter suppression isn't new, it's as American as apple pie. Because after the Civil War, black men gained the right to vote. And the response? Well, violence, intimidation, and laws designed to keep them from the ballot box. Jim Crow introduced literacy tests, poll taxes, and grandfather clauses, all designed to keep black voters out of power. And the Voting Rights Act of 1965 temporarily weakened suppression, but they found ways to block votes again. So let's fast forward to today, because it's the same playbook, just different tools. See, voter ID laws, well, they disproportionately impact poor, black, and indigenous communities. Polling place closures, well, they make it harder for communities of color to vote. Felony disenfranchisement strips voting rights from millions, disproportionately black men. And then voter roll purges, well, they target likely Democratic voters under the guise of election integrity. See, they don't want democracy, they want control. And they use different tactics to get it. Gerrymandering is one of them. So let's talk about one of the biggest election rigging tools ever created: gerrymandering. See, politicians draw district lines to pick their voters instead of voters picking their politicians. And let's be completely 100% honest. Republicans and Democrats both use it, but the GOP has mastered the dark art of suppressing entire communities. They crack, pack, and stack districts to dilute black and brown voting power. Examples are states like North Carolina, Texas, and Georgia had maps so rigged that courts had to step in. Like, if your vote is intentionally diluted, are you really living in a democracy? We're not. We're living in a constitutional republic, and is aided by the Electoral College. And that's actually a firewall against democracy. See, the Electoral College isn't just outdated, it was actually built to protect slavery and keep elites in power. The founders didn't trust mob rule, aka too much power in the ordinary people, so they created electors to override the popular vote if necessary. See, it gave southern slave states more power by counting enslaved people as three-fifths of a person for representation. And today, well, it gives small, predominantly white states disproportionately more power than diverse populous states. The result? 5 presidents have been elected despite losing the popular vote. Most recently in 2000 with Bush over Gore, and in 2016 with Trump over Clinton. See, we don't elect our presidents. A handful of electors do, and that is not democracy. There's one more myth that we got to talk about, and it's the myth of election integrity and this new wave of suppression, right? They say voter suppression is a thing of the past, but they're lying. State legislatures across the country are passing election integrity laws that make voting harder, not easier. Texas, Georgia, and Florida have restricted mail in voting, closed polling places, and empowered poll watchers to intimidate voters. In 2020, Trump and his allies tried to overturn the election results based on lies about fraud. And the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, making it easier for states to suppress votes. Every election cycle, the system tightens its grip because they know if voting were truly fair, they would lose every time. So, look, the US isn't a democracy. It's a system designed to protect minority rule. Voter suppression keeps black, brown, and poor communities from having real power. Gerrymandering lets politicians rig elections before they even start. And the Electoral College ensures presidents are chosen by a small elite and not the people. The question isn't, can we fix the system? The question is, how do we break out of it? And in the next episode, we're building a vision for what a real democracy would look like and how we get there. So I need you to subscribe. I need you to share this, and I need you to spread this truth. Because if we don't fight back, they will keep controlling us. This is the myth of American democracy. I'll see you in episode 3.